This is the Horse Radio Network.
This is episode 861 of Horse Tip Daily. A different horse tip, a different equine topic, a different equestrian expert every day. Horse Tip Daily brings the world of equine knowledge to you, one day at a time. Greetings, horse people. Coach Jen here, and thanks for tuning in to Horse Tip Daily. Today's tip is an excerpt from the eventing radio show where Jessica Phoenix talks about cross-country warm-up with show co-hosts Samantha Clark and Jess Montgomery. And we'll get right to our tip after this important message from StatelineTack.com. When the weather forecast calls for wind, rain, bone-chilling temperatures, or snow, look no further than StatelineTack.com to make sure your barn time is warm, dry, and stylish. StatelineTack.com has jackets and vests that keep you warm and dry from afternoon hacks in New England to break-of-dawn schooling sessions in Wellington. They also carry a wide selection of toasty warm breeches for schooling ring or show ring. They even have waterproof breeches for those days when Mother Nature is at her worst. And StatelineTack.com knows there's nothing more satisfying than having warm, dry feet at the barn, so they have beautiful winter boots for showing, weather-busting paddock boots for on the horse or off, and lots of rubber boots for mucking about. Surf over to StatelineTack.com today and choose from your favorite brands like Ariat, Debonair, Dublin, Mountain Horse, Carrots, Tough Rider, and many, many more. StatelineTack.com.
Jessie, you just did this amazing exercise. It's the day before cross country at Blenheim, and Clayton was helping you. Tell me what you did with Pavarotti.
What we did is we just did a line of vertical to an oxer, and it's set on a very short distance, so you can really have to collect and put 4 strides in. And it's really good with a horse like Pavarotti, who gets a little bit strong once he's in his combinations. And it just teaches him how to hold himself instead of me having to hold him. And that when I get to the oxer coming out of the combination, that I can let go and just let him use his body so that he stops trying to pull through it. And then once you've done it on the 4 strides, you then you don't move the jumps, but you open up the canter and you come through in 3 strides. And again, just teaching him how to open himself up and still hold himself when he gets to the oxer on the way out.
I mean, some of the jumps look really uncomfortable, like you were burying him, but that's intentional.
Well, it's not intentional, but when he jumps in and he tries to pull through me, if he doesn't listen, it makes him work harder on the way out. And regardless whether he listens or not, I always let go so that it is uncomfortable for him if he doesn't choose to stay on his hind legs and wait.
And luckily he's such a good jumper. Can you do it with any horse at any height?
I don't think you would want to do it with every horse. I think it would scare some horses. I think Pavarotti is a very bold, super confident horse, so it actually just is a good reminder for him the day before cross country. A horse that's a little bit nervous, I don't think I would do the exercise with, because it would probably back them off too much.
And there were placing lines every now and then?
Yep. So on the way to the vertical and right before the oxer, there's placing rails so that it makes him get to a certain distance so that he can't leave long.
And then you did 2, you just angled the last oxer on its own twice at the end.
Yeah.
It looked phenomenal.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that we could open him up and then just see a nice forward going distance over the oxers, and still make sure that he was holding himself. So it was good. Hope it works for tomorrow.
And then what will you do tomorrow as a warm-up? I mean, it's hard, no one has rows and tracks anymore, of course.
Yeah.
But and how many jumps will you do and things like that?
With Pavarotti, I'll get on him in the morning and take him out and just do a little trot and let him go forward and back in the gallop. And I'll probably jump 5 fences and then get off him, bring him back, and let him kind of chill out in the stall for a couple of hours, and then get on him and do a couple fences and go.
Brilliant. Best of luck. Thanks, Jessie.
Thank you.
And that just about takes care of it. You can find lots more tips about topics ranging from barn care to websites for horse people at horsetipdaily.com. Just look for the topics drop-down menu on the left. And you can tune into the Eventing Radio Show every week at eventingradio.com, for the latest news from the eventing world, interviews with eventers at every level, and great tips on every aspect of eventing. And you can have all of the Horse Radio Network shows with you wherever you go with our new free app for iPhone and Android. Just go to your app store and search for Horse Radio Network. And don't forget, support our sponsors here on Horse Tip Daily because they make these podcasts possible. This podcast has been brought to you through the generous support of StatelineTack.com. The Horse Radio Network and the Horse Radio Network hosts are not responsible for statements of guests or their opinions. Use your own judgment when listening to the tips provided by the experts on Horse Tip Daily.